Hey everyone, welcome back to I Heart Animation. Today I'm talking with another one of my internet friends. This time it's not someone I know from the animation community or the movie review world. She's just a friend I met online. Her name is Katie Fabric, and I'll let her tell you how we met in a little bit. Anyway, Katie chose the French film A Cat in Paris for us to talk about. Another one of those films that I'd heard about but never seen. I ended up really liking it, and we had a great discussion about it. Okay, so Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Katie Fabric, and I'm a animation student, and 2D animation's kind of like always been a thing in my life, so whenever I see anything 2D animated, it just makes me super excited, and your channel's just so cool.
Thanks.
So it's a funny story. I was listening to a podcast that I like to listen to while I work. Little plug on the inner tube. It's cool. Check it out if you haven't watched it. But Jonathan asked a question about branding, and I'm very curious about stuff like that too. So, and I decided to check out his channel because they said he did movie reviews, and I love movies. And I watched one of his videos, and I'm like, hey, these are cool. And then I really liked his Wonderland Wednesdays because I love Alice in Wonderland. Probably not as much as Jonathan. I don't know if I understand the book that well, but it's a good story. And then we just kind of found each other on Twitter, and I was super excited when he followed me back. And so I was like, yes, first cool person to follow me.
I don't follow everybody who follows me, but like, if I see they're like interacting with me more than usual, I might check their page out. And I liked what you have. I think I'm excited to see where you end up going because I think you're gonna do good things.
Oh, well, thank you. The reason why I probably picked Cat in Paris is because it's traditionally animated, and that always really impresses me because of how much work has to go into it. And it had such a weird style to it. It just felt so French. I was like, this is such a weird but fun movie. And so I just wanted to share it with other people because I thought it was a very different story. So
I didn't know what to expect going into this movie because like the only thing I knew about it was the name, A Cat in Paris, which doesn't really tell you a whole lot. And like, I didn't read the description beforehand. I'd never seen any trailers. I just seen like the poster or the cover art, just the cat on a rooftop. Mm-hmm. So like, I had no idea what to expect. And I was really surprised at how good it was.
Don't watch the trailer. It spoils everything. I watched the trailer afterward, and I'm just like, no, don't watch that. It kind of gives away spoilers. So
okay, I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer then.
I like how they don't explain everything, like all the backstory to the characters, because it really feels like it's told just like, here's some people, they live their lives. You don't need to know from their childhood to their adulthood what motivates them the entire life. They just kind of just start showing you, and you can fall in love with these characters.
Yeah, you kind of figure out what has happened in the past based on their dialogue.
Yeah. And I'm just like, why don't people do that more often?
So without giving too much away, why don't you like tell the viewers a little bit about the movie?
So the movie is about a cat who lives two lives. During the day, he lives with a little girl named Zoe, who is adorable in my opinion. And then during the night, he's a cat burglar with a cat burglar. I think that's a really cool premise to tell two stories and connect them.
Within the first few minutes, I was already like into it because it was such a unique premise, this cat living a double life. But then, and I'm not going to like go into any spoilers or anything, things kind of take a turn, and there's like this whole backstory that starts coming up into the forefront and starts mixing the two lives that the cat has together with it's hard to talk about without like ruining anything.
Yeah.
I really want people to go into this not knowing anything because that's how I went in, and it's just like it's such a nice surprise when you start discovering what this is about.
It's really hard to talk about movie because you're just like, I don't want to spoil it for you because the story is so well laid out, and if you say one thing, you might spoil the whole story, and so
it's such a well-written, unique story, and I really like the style as well because it's very unlike a lot of American films. Like, I think American films borrow a little too heavily on the Disney style sometimes. And I'm not knocking Disney. I love Disney and I love Disney's style, but like, I like there to be a variety, and I like that this one was just so different. Like, very stylized. You could tell that it was based on like a specific person's artwork, and it was like that those drawings were brought to life.
Yeah. In an article I read, the storyboard artist would storyboard each scene, and they would just enlarge in that and just animate he would almost animate the whole thing, and they just fill in the gaps, kind of.
I think I can tell that because I don't want to say it's like not polished because it is polished, but it's sort of, I don't know, it feels more like a rough drawing than like drawings come to life. And I really like the style.
Yeah. I love the fluidness when they
oh yeah, like going across the rooftops.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not realistic, but it's so cool.
I know, and the way the burglar like does his flips as he's like escaping or going into houses, and it's so well done. It's just I love the style of this movie. Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump in here for a second to give you a quick spoiler warning. There are a couple of really specific things that we wanted to talk about, one of which especially involves one of the twists that comes in the second half of the movie. We definitely don't spoil enough to ruin the movie, but if you wanted to go in completely fresh, I thought I'd give you a quick warning. I'll give you a timestamp here if you want to skip past the spoilery bit of our discussion. If you don't mind knowing a few key plot details in advance, then you can just keep watching, but if you do mind, feel free to skip ahead.
One thing that I really like about the story is how childish the villain is. I kind of feel like the story is told from Zoe's perspective because the villain is extremely childish whenever he's not around Zoe. Like, he'll splat quiche in the guy's face. But whenever the story progresses and Zoe becomes more like connected with the villain, he begins to get more like impulsive and violent because it's something that she actually experienced. It's kind of like a childish view of the story because, like, the cat burglar, he isn't shown as a bad guy. He's shown as a good guy. I think maybe that's because maybe they just wanted you to root for him. Yeah. But in Zoe's eyes, he was a good guy.
Aside from, like, stealing people's jewelry, he was good. I kind of wanted there to be like a little more focus on that. It seemed to be glossed over at the end. It was just like, well, he saved the little girl, so all is forgiven. But like,
true.
At the beginning, he was robbing people's houses. So, I mean,
forget the jewels. Forget the jewels.
I mean, I guess if he totally is 100% for sure reformed, I guess I'm okay with it. But like, as long as he doesn't go back into stealing from people again.
Yeah. Like one wallet a day.
One thing that I really liked was the nanny, the housekeeper, the person who took care of Zoe. Like, at the beginning, I wasn't really sure what to think of her because she seemed so nice, but she was mean to the cat. Like, I really liked how she was totally accepting that Zoe would keep the little dead lizards that the cat brought in. Like, most people would be like totally disgusted. Like, I guess I would be totally disgusted if a kid was dragging around dead lizards. But like, to me, that kind of shows that the kid is like curious about nature. And I feel like that, as much as I want to be disgusted by that, I would feel like I would need to like be accepting and sort of nurture that curiosity. And I liked that the housekeeper was that. But then she was mean to the cat, and I was like, why is she so nice? Also mean at the same time. And then you find out that she's actually working with the villain. And I guess
Yeah.
that made sense. But I did like that twist. Like when you hear her talking off screen, my jaw dropped. It was like, oh my word. The housekeeper, she's been spying on them this whole time.
Don't trust her.
I thought that was such a good twist. There were so many twists and turns in this movie. It was so good. This is an animated movie I would pretty much recommend for anybody.
Yeah. Guys make twists and turns as the fluid animation of the cat burglar.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that's going to be all for this episode. Do you want to tell people where they can find you online if they want to follow you?
Yeah, sure. I'm KT Draws Things at Twitter.
I'll have a link to your Twitter down below if anyone wants to look you up.
I usually post art and silly little tweets, I guess. So.
Yeah, so check her out. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. We might have to do this again if you have any other movie suggestions for the future. We'll have to talk about it maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our video. I'll be back with another regular iHeart animation in a week or two, but the next episode is going to be the second episode of our Disney movie marathon. I'll be back once more with my cousin Sarah, and she and I will be talking about Walt Disney's Pinocchio. We'll see you then. Bye!